Hello everybody, welcome to Lugnuts. This week's video is going to focus on the Toyota Prius, however you say it, wherever you're from, limited all-wheel drive. This is the 2023, I should say. The Prius was redesigned for this year, and I gotta say, after some 20 years of making the vehicle, they have finally decided that it can be pretty. It's a rather, let me give you a proper low side profile. You know, it really, when I picked it up, apologies for the street noise, I noticed how much it looked a little like the Model 3. Really sort of, yeah, I think they were cribbing the design there, or at least the philosophy, and to good effect. I think it looks really good. I'm not a huge fan of the color on this particular model. I mean, that doesn't matter, you can pick whichever color you like, but it's a very flat, kind of bland blue, well, which is what it is. But yeah, you get nice rims, you get different color. Typically, I think all the fender stuff is black, no matter which color you choose, but it's not bare plastic. Isn't that super? Oh, Toyota, well done. I appreciate you. So we get a really nice nose. You get incredible headlights. I really like the front end of this car. It looks really nice. This is, strangely, it has sporting pretensions in its appearance, doesn't it? It looks sporty, if you will, relatively speaking. You know, as much as a four-door hybrid electric vehicle can sort of look sporty based on limitations of design, but it looks good. It looks really good. I'm very impressed with Toyota in this car. You know, it's nice. You know, just because this is supposed to be socially progressive doesn't mean it can't look good, huh? Way to engage us, Toyota. Good for you. You get the built-in shark fin in the back. I love how this thing sort of comes out of the roof here, you know, almost like, you know, the Terminator rising out of the floor in the mental hospital there. Remember that? Really cool. I love that. That looks great. You get a lift back. This is a lift back vehicle. So you hit, listen to this. I want you guys to listen carefully. I don't know how much the mic's going to pick it up, but this blew my mind the first time I opened it. Listen to how noisy. It's like 1987. Incredible. Anyway, you do get, which is nice to see, you get one and then two lift struts, powered lift struts, which is really cool. Sometimes they'll try and cheap out and only give you one. So, and you know, this doesn't look like the heaviest canopy in the back. So yeah, well, that's good. That's a sign of quality. You get one of these sort of flimsy cargo covers. It's not a bad thing. I thought they were just being cheap, but I think it's actually for like weight purposes and stuff. And it does the job. It protects or keeps people from looking at what you have in the back. So you get a reasonable cargo area here. It's not too bad. It's not huge. The floor is quite high, which is funny. Excuse me, given how relatively low this vehicle is. But contradictions are what they are. Forgive my bag, as usual. But you lift this up, and you get foam inserts. I don't know exactly what the point of all of this is. Do you? Because if you guys know, I'd love to know myself. But they're all pinned in. And if I start disassembling this thing, Toyota will get mad at me. So I don't know. I don't see a spare. I see this. And this is it. So are we missing something or what? I'm not sure. But I would have expected to see something. Oh, there we go. There's the inflator way in the back. And is that the... What is that? Just for fun. Emergency tire puncture repair kit. Okay, so this is the goop. You jam that into the tire and you're off and running. Put that back later. So one thing to note is how very, very thin that is. But I don't think it's made from like that cardboard paper thing, so it won't rot too bad, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll shut that. Listen again. So noisy. Unbelievable. Oh, something before we leave. I wanted to point out how they've designed the Prius, the letters for the Prius. Kind of, if I may say, sort of cribbing the design philosophy of the Ioniq 5 a little bit, maybe. You know, that 80s modern retro thing or whatever. Something else to note, and I don't know what this means, but I noticed it from the moment I picked up this car. It has currently about 1,400 kilometers on it. It's effectively brand new. And this piano black stuff they have going along the back here is scratched to all hell. The whole car is scratched, and I don't really know why that is. So I don't know if this stuff in particular is susceptible, or if this is just a poor example or something happened to it, but it's brand new and it's scratched, horrible. But I wanted to mention it. All right, so something, we need to talk about how low this car is. Yeah, now I know I'm a man of generous proportion, so getting in and out of these things can sometimes be an adventure. But this car, even my children noted how low it is. Again, sort of lends itself to what they were going for regarding sportiness. So, ow, excuse me. Seated behind myself, you get just enough leg room. It's not great, it's not stellar. You get almost no headroom, and I am, for reference, 5'8". Can you hear that? That's just a touch of neck stretch, and I'm rubbing the ceiling. So, you know, all the sporty aspects of this car, I think you do get some sacrifices on the inside. You get a slider here for the glass roof. The glass roof is standard equipment, comes on all the models, and you get 2 sliders here, covers, and those are cool actually. You do not get a sunroof in this car. You cannot have one. It's just a fixed roof, period. You get cup holders in the middle, power down there. You get heated seats in the back, always nice. This particular trim level, I believe actually all of them come with leather. I'll have to double check that, I can't remember. They could not get me a window sticker for this car, so I'm a little rough on the details, my apologies. And then, yeah, that's about it. That's the back seat. It's not bad. The color scheme is okay. They have a lot going on up front, which we'll talk about in a minute. Back here, it's a little more restrained. My ever-present red jacket, because I won't leave home without it. And that's about it, but yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's a little tight back here. A little tight. Let's go to the front seats. Oh, as I groan. Pardon me. That's not what you guys signed up for, is it? All right. So, the front seat where the magic happens. All right. Excuse my McDonald's coffee. Let me just adjust here. All right. So, let's turn it on. And you guys can see. So this is the limited model. This is the top range model. And what that gets you is this delightful 12-inch screen. It's really quite nice. I want to start here just because it's a beautiful piece of tech. You know, it's what I want to see in every car I get into. If you're going to put a screen in a car, which every car comes with them now, this is how you do it. The resolution's nice. The size is good. I like how, you know, the aspect ratio or whatever it is you want to call that. It's really nice. My only criticism, and this is probably more a me thing than the car, is the location of this volume button, because I'm sitting in my standard seating position now, and I can't reach it. I can't reach it. I know, short arms, really stubby fingers. That's a Tracy thing, but still, you could have put it here, we could have put it here, we could have put it somewhere else. So it's a reach, and I'm lazy, so I don't want to do that. But other than that, it's great. And you get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both are wireless. My Android Auto has been glitchy. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's the car. But anyway, they're both wireless, they're both available. The resolution on the screen is great. Over here is the camera button. So we'll turn on the camera. You get a whole bunch of weird options, 3D representations, etc. So you can, no, that's not it. Hold on. Here. Let's put it into reverse so you guys can, oh, there we go. There it is. So that's your resolution on the camera. You get your 3D on the left, etc. It's quite nice, actually. You also get a front camera, which is cool. I love the front camera, actually, because it sort of helps you, you know, nudge up in tight parking spots, etc. And this thing is a small car, so it's good to be nimble. Put it back in park. So let's talk about the dash display up here. So it's all digital. It's kind of contained within this, I don't know what it looks like on camera, but it almost looks like an anteater sort of design. That's the body, and then this is the nose, and it kind of hangs in your lap a little bit. It's very odd. I don't know what to make of it. It's not ugly, so that's fine. It's not offensive or anything. It's just a somewhat strange design, and it seems to be like the steering wheel sticks out way far from the dash. If you look across all of this, the dash is just enormous. And I guess maybe that's a packaging thing. I'm not sure. I'm not an engineer, but the dash is huge, absolutely massive on this very tiny car. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that has to do with the dual drive system. I'm not sure. But anyway, so you get this steering wheel, and you can adjust it. Now, here's the thing. I like, because I'm weird, I like a steering wheel high up and then all the way out. Now, here's the kicker. And I drive like this because I like to roll like it's the 90s. And the kicker is, with the steering wheel in this position, I can't see the cluster. Can you guys see that? Is that clearly, I mean, you're steering, of course, so you get glimpses of it, but your speed is not, you can't see it. So I actually had to drop this down. And a lot of people like the steering wheel in their lap. Not so much for me. I I like this, or I like to be able to, I like having a little higher up. I don't know why, but this is okay. I can see it there, and it's not uncomfortable or anything. It's just weird that, you know, the capacity exists to lift it up super high, but then it just blocks the dash. But anyway, so on the dash cluster here, you can have obviously your speed, etc. It gives you, here you have your, when you're charging with regenerative braking, your eco, and then your power mode, etc., etc. You can change all the stuff. Oh, sorry. There you go. So then you can put whatever you want on there, every type of piece of information, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's nice actually. It's pretty usable. I'll deal with that later. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Positioning is a little funny, but that's all right. No big deal. You get some auxiliary controls down here, including the heated steering wheel, which for some reason I love having the heated steering wheel on when I've got the AC cranked, because I'm a bit of a douche, I guess. You also get your steering wheel controls, fairly conventional audio telephony controls over here, and then your cruise control stuff over here, and that's about it. You got this center thing here with the sort of, again, the sloping nature of this steering column kind of feeds into this. It's interesting. I don't mind. Very good quality feeling switchgear. I wanted to mention that. I don't know what it is. It's a very Toyota thing. I haven't been in Toyotas realistically, like new Toyotas. This is the first one I've had in a long time, and I like it. It feels like the Corollas I drove when I was a kid. You know, they haven't really changed it. It's just more modern, but the feel of it is the same, and that's cool. It's nice. Sometimes it's the little things. What can I say? Moving over here, you got your power button, not your start stop, and then you've got environmental controls here, separate buttons, etc. Really nice to see. You got these toggles here, which took me a bit to get used to, but of course that's just kids left the heated seat on. And you get your air vents in between, which is becoming a common design philosophy. And here, in a slightly offset color, is Prius. You sort of threw that in there. And I like that. You don't even see it every time you look at it, but it's cool. I dig it. Power options down here, you get 12 volt, couple of USB-Cs, storage. This thing actually lifts up, and you can put, I don't know, maybe you just put your proper change in there, and then homeless people won't break your window to steal the 75 cents out of your storage bin there. Cup holders. Here's the shifter. So the shifter is interesting. I've got to say, it took me a little bit to get used to. I don't know how prevalent this is on Toyota models across the range, but you do kind of like an old Volkswagen. To shift gears, you push it over and then up for reverse, which again gives us the camera, and then down for drive, and then back over here. One thing I haven't been able to figure out is what the B means. I don't know what that means. And it seems like if you go straight down, and then vehicle must be in D to shift into B. If you can see that, sorry. But what the hell is B? I have no idea. I should probably have Googled it before I recorded the video, but the audience will tell me. Then you get your little wireless, but otherwise it's okay, it's fine. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it took me a little bit to get used to because of how it's the extra movement thing. But anyway, that's fine. You get a wireless charging slot here, which is cool. It's nice. I'm great that we have a wireless charging slot. One thing I wanted to make note of, it gets really hot in there. You know, it's okay now because the car is sort of just turned on, but are we in park? Yeah, okay, take my foot off the brake. But I put on it was a hot, like a relatively hot day, 24 degrees Celsius, which is a beautiful day actually, not particularly warm. And but I put my phone in and then it told me it was overheating. So, and then I put my hand in there and it was bloody hot. So I don't know what to make of that actually, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I haven't really seen it since, so maybe it was just an anomaly. And yeah, slide her in there, and it's good. It's easy to get it in and out. You can, for some reason, you can, if you see that, turn it on and off. Maybe because, you know, if your phone's charged or you don't need to charge it, but you need somewhere to put your phone. I guess that there's a philosophy behind that. You get your center console here. Not a lot of storage. You get 2 more charging ports. There's lots of juice in this thing. I should mention, you might notice that these cables are all USB-A to USB-C for charging my Android phone. Those are all USB-C ports as well. It's all the ports in this car are USB-C. There are no old school USB-A to C. So actually, weirdly, I could not find a cable to plug in my phone because I wanted to test the plug-in functionality as well. So I've got to go get one of those, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, there's no old school ports on this thing. This puppy is all 2023. So you also, there we go, glass roof again, another slider portion. They have this, I think this is like a strengthening bar in the middle for these glass roofs. They don't want the car to flex too much because it can shatter the glass, I think, is what's going on there. And that is the interior of this car. That's about it. it's yeah, it's a nice place to sit. Seating position is quite comfortable, and I think it's time to drive, isn't it? Yeah, let's go. So the 2023 Toyota Prius, it starts right around $39,000 Canadian for the, I can't remember, I think it's the XLE model. And then this is the Limited, which is another $4 or $5 grand, which tops you out around $43,000, $45,000 Canadian. That's not bad, given what you get. You know, you get the hybrid drive, all-wheel drive, a decent looking car, choose a different color. And yeah, you know, it's sort of exactly where it should be, I suppose. A big question, of course, with cars like this, especially hybrid systems, you know, I'm always curious as to how much they actually save you. You are spending money on an additional drive system, and it's supposed to be, you know, more fuel efficient, which is good for the planet, good for us, all this kind of stuff. And this one is quite effective. It is currently, sorry, when I was showing you guys the economy thing, I turned it off. There we go. So I've averaged just over 400 kilometers so far, 5.3 liters per 100K. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I just finished with the Ford Maverick hybrid, and that gave me 5.6, 5.7, which was also excellent. So this will give you, I think this thing has a relatively small tank. I can't remember how much. I'll put it on screen when I figure it out later. But that will give you really good range for not a lot of liters. So that is very nice to see. Fuel economy is great. You get, how big is the engine in this? Damn it, I forgot to look that up. I apologize. Sorry, they didn't give me the window sticker, so I'm a little not as prepared as I normally am, but I'll put it on screen for you. But the combined internal combustion engine and the electric drive system gives you just under 200 horsepower. And you know, it's enough. It doesn't, you know, the car, I mean, it's not designed for performance, right? It's designed for efficiency and economy, and that's fair. And you do get that with this car, which is good to see. You know, it's designed to a certain purpose. It doesn't really make a great noise. My son, for some reason, my oldest son loves the sound of this thing. Here, I'll stop for a second here, and I'll pin it. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. You probably just hear the electric whine and whatnot. But here, you can hear what the engine sounds like when you fire it up. Yeah, for me, I mean, it just kind of, you know, drones a little bit. It doesn't give you any sort of, you know, nice exhaust sound or whatever the case may be, and that's fine, right? I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it's not designed to, you know, pin you to the back of your seat, and it'll never do that. But you do get really great fuel economy, so that's good. And the really interesting thing is how much it will do on electric only. Like when you start the car, even if you put the air conditioning on and all the stuff that sucks up the juice, it stays on battery only for quite a stretch sometimes. And before finally giving in and firing up the old internal combustion. So that's cool. This thing is truly a true hybrid drive, I think, you know, in terms of what that means. So seating position is good. It's nice and neutral. The seat is comfortable. It's a nice place to sit. I've actually spent, you know, several hours in this car at any one, like on a continuous stretch. And yeah, you don't get the ass ache. It's, you know, your back doesn't hurt. So it's a pretty solid place to be, you know, when you're doing your daily commute or if you got longer drives, etc. Visibility is pretty solid. The only exception to that is out the back window. It is limited back there. Now, again, you get cameras, etc. So I think, to be honest, they're less concerned, car designers, with what you can see out the back window, because you get, is that a crossbow? I can't remember what that thing's called. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. They're less concerned with what you can and can't see out the back window, I think, because that, yeah, I mean, it's just, it doesn't make any sense otherwise. But yeah, I wanted to mention it. Visibility out the back is a little tough, but you do get an excellent 360 camera system. So, you know, trade-off, I suppose. You know, it handles fairly well. It's, you know, the all-wheel drive system is great to have. I imagine in the wintertime that would be exceptional. Throw some snowies on this thing and you'll never get stuck. It feels fairly tight to the road, goes where you point it. That's about all you can ask from, you know, what is still, you know, a sort of entry-level, almost entry-level hybrid sedan. So yeah, the driving experience in this thing is better than I expected. I can remember when the Prius first came out, 2003? 02, 03, or was it 01? I'll look it up. And, you know, it was ugly, you know, it wasn't very fast. Some said it wasn't made very well, but it was revolutionary in terms of, you know, what it gave you. But it was polarizing. And I guess that maybe that was inevitable at the time. I'm not sure. But, you know, a lot of people didn't engage with that car, not necessarily just because it had electric drive. That's one thing, but because they didn't give us something to get passionate about, you know. And I like that they finally said, okay, we're going to keep making the Prius. Toyota as a manufacturer seems committed to hybrid, you know, as opposed to full electric. They haven't really gone that way to any great extent. I know they have one or two, but you know, on down the line, they seem to think that hybrid is you know, is the future for them, or at least, you know, until they figure out what the future actually looks like. So they've committed themselves to hybrid. They keep making the Prius, and they've finally given us something that looks good, something that's beautiful, something that's interesting. So I think that's a great thing, and I think it's a wonderful choice on the part of Toyota. They finally made this feel, you know, given us something that makes us feel like we should about a vehicle that for 20 years now has been an extremely progressive piece of technology. So, you know, I know Tesla did a lot for battery electric. This showed us what electric, you know, could be on the sort of daily, you know, the daily drive. Yeah, this did it first, almost, in a way. But they didn't, you know, a lot of people looked at the car and went, oh, it looks like crap. I can't, you know, we're emotional creatures, human beings. So, you know, if something is inherently unattractive, especially when it comes to something we're going to put good money down on, we're going to walk away. So unless you were, you know, incredibly eco-minded, you weren't very interested in this car. Now you can look at it and go, yeah, I can drive that. That's quite good looking, actually. You know, make sure your knees are in good shape so you can get in and out easily. How quickly the SUV culture teaches us that we don't have to be flexible anymore. But other than that, I mean, it's a car you could drive this thing all the time. It's great, you know, and you can feel proud of it too. You know, it's not what I'm trying to say as I babble is it's not a compromise so much anymore. It's just a good car, and I like that. I think Toyota should be commended for that. Finally, only took them 20 years, but yeah, good for you guys. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for the 2023 Toyota Prius, however you say it. Limited all-wheel drive, great car. Really, I've enjoyed my time with it. Please pick a different color. I don't know what it is about the blue. I showed it to a friend of mine yesterday, and he liked it fine. So maybe it's just a me thing, but yeah, you have options, folks. Just remember that. That'll do it. You guys have yourself a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Get out and enjoy the sun. God, it's a good day today. Fantastic.